Tippy tie my damies, tippy tie my damies, tippy tie my damies, tippy tie. Welcome to another episode of Reviewedly Interrupted with me, your host, Pootie Tang. This is episode 49. 50's right around the corner. I wonder what's going to happen for that. I don't know. But this episode is about LA AIDS Jabber from Visual Vengeance, a little sister company to Wild Eye Releasing. Big fan of both Wild Eye. Got turned on to them from actually buying a lot of movies at the Dollar Tree. And LA AIDS Jabber is actually my intro into Visual Vengeance, which has released 14 movies I know of at the moment or something. 14 or 15. But yeah, also known as Jabber. Well, let's take a look at the physical media first. It's got this nice little slip cover. It'll go slip right over and it covers it. And then the inside. All of them come with these little stickers. Some of them say different stuff in them. They got different little stickers. It's almost, you could almost decorate your little case and everything, you know? Little booklet about it. And there's a mini poster. Like all these movies come with like little mini posters. I misplaced mine. I know it's in here somewhere with a stack of like other little like mini posters and everything that I was like, I'll keep them all together. And then eventually I'm going to end up putting them up. I should have just like not done that. But they're here somewhere. But yeah, there's also supposed to be a little mini posters. See, look, there's the lovely Blu-ray in there and the reversible artwork and everything. Here, I'll pop this out so you can see it. Boom! There's the new commissioned artwork. I noticed that a lot of companies are doing that. That'll be like, you know, newly commissioned. Something new, which is pretty cool, but I always throw it on the retro one. It's kind of like, I don't know. This is Blu-ray. It's never been released on Blu-ray before, but I can almost like, it's almost like a look back, or it feels a little more retro, you know, throwing it on the old cover and everything, because I never got a chance to own it or even see it in the original. And yeah, you know, and like a friend was talking about this movie. He's like, have you ever heard of this movie? And I'm like, no. And he's like, dude, it's called LA AIDS Jabber. And I was like, why do I not already own this movie? How have I not heard about this? You know? And it got me hooked on Visual Vengeance, and I'll be doing more. I did Suburban Sasquatch, but I think that one needs an update in this new format where I get a little more in depth and into cheesy. And this is Visual Vengeance 03. Dude, the slipcover does not there. Man, that was weird. Visual Vengeance number 3. Yeah. But the special features, you know, it's got the SD master, a director's introduction, a making of, interviews, photo gallery, you know, and like the little extras I showed you. And I'll talk more about those special features later. But yeah, you know, this is Visual Vengeance is really cool. Like if you like low budget, shot on video, fucking schlock, the acting's usually shit. The effects are sometimes like really fucking great and gory. Low budget, just forgotten movies that they're taking that used to just be on tape. Maybe got very small, like regional distribution or something, word of mouth or whatever, and they're taking them and releasing them on lovely HD on Blu-ray, and it's really cool. Like I've over time I've come to enjoy movies like this, so I'm gonna go watch this movie again, and then I'll yap about it because I'm really excited to talk about this one actually, because this is a really good movie. It's like out of nowhere, really, really good. So I'm going to go watch LA AIDS Jabber again, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the movie. All right. He's just jabbing it. You going to jab it? Jab it in LA. All right. LA AIDS Jabber, a.k.a. Jabber. Like this movie, like, okay, this is the movie that got me into Visual Vengeance, thanks to a pal mentioning it. I think I mentioned that before. Like, it's one that you go in and you start watching, you're like, oh, this is really low budget, you know. You can tell the quality is from fucking tape and everything else. and you're like, okay, it's probably gonna be like entertaining but pretty cheesy. It's actually like better than you expect. Of course, it's like the dialogue, you know, like this, like maybe the script dialogue or whatever wasn't super tight, but like the plot and the fucking the pacing and everything, it's like really good, and the character development and everything too, because you go in kind of knowing a little bit about the main dude, but then you learn more and more and more about him, and he's got like this whole fucking history and all this shit, and it's like it's actually like way better than you expect it to be, and it's like quality be damned, I say. It's really really good, and I'm like glad this got released because it's like a really good movie and entertaining, and it could have been lost forever, just lost. Yeah, let's get into some bits and pieces of it. First of all, this is not one of those like has anything to do with like gay community AIDS or like whether or not the guy was gay and got it or whatever. Had nothing to do with any aspect of that. It didn't bring in like an anti-gay message. You know how like there was a lot of crazy shit going on back then. Like it was craziness, you know, when it first like started going off. This is just about, has nothing to do with that. It's not like having anything to say about the gay community, because like I don't know, I'm guessing these are all straight people and they were like, I don't know like really much about that community. I can't say shit about it. And I don't know, just it's cool that had nothing to do with it, because instead of having like some agenda to push some kind of human disparity message, whether it be this side or that side, no, it's just about the epidemic of AIDS itself, which I think is great, because there's no kind of agenda to detract you from a really solid story that is really of its time, because, you know, these days, you know, AIDS is a big deal, but it's like so treatable, not, it can't be cured, but it can be treated to a point where you're like, you're living a full life, maybe not fully healthy, but full life, you know, and all that other kind of shit. And this is like when it was really, really booming and becoming a scare. And, you know, I think it plays that very well. Very well. Like I'm saying, it's a movie that's like better than you expect. I really dig the music too. The music cracks me up because the music's actually solid. If you listen to it, that shit could be in any like mainstream like romantic comedy or sex comedy, because there was a lot of them out around in the 80s. That was a thing before PC culture was like, this isn't cool. Like a lot of the stuff they're doing is actually illegal. It's like, yeah, but it was like stupid. That's why we laughed at it, because it was stupid. What they were doing was stupid. Regardless, like the music could fit into any of those movies that were like mainstream or semi-mainstream. Like the music is actually like really tight. I gotta say, I enjoyed the music, and I don't know, the character, I really love the character and his character development. The main dude, like Jeff, the character of Jeff. You know, you really get to see like how he takes it, how he's pushing people away, and how he's reacting to it, and how like there could have been a million different reactions. It starts off with him like feeling so despondent and just like giving up, and he has the gun in his mouth and shit, you know. He's thinking about blowing his fucking brains out and just ending it and everything. And then it just flips and he's like, rage. It's like, I'm going to go jab people because I got AIDS. It's like, all right, dude, you're going there. Okay, we got to talk about the first jab here, okay? It's one of those things where it's like, it's a plot hole, but you just overlook it because it's like, fuck it, man. You're already along for the ride, and if you're not entertained by now, at least to some point, and intrigued, then you're missing the movie anyway. So, like, he's like, hey, I bet this fucking bitch hooker is the one that gave me the AIDS. You know what I should fucking do? That's right. I'm gonna go jab my AIDS infected blood into that AIDS infected bitch and that'll kill. Wait. It makes no sense. I mean, after you get to the ending, which maybe there might be a spoiler alert, but I might not. Spoiler alert. We'll see. But yeah, so he goes and jabs her first. It's like, if you think about it, why would you jab the person that gave you AIDS with your AIDS? It's like, it's not double AIDS. It's not like, oh man, now you got double AIDS and that's like twice as bad as regular AIDS. That's math. Like, I don't know, that it kind of cracked me up, you know? And then I still got to watch the special features. So there's little things in the movie that I'm hoping the audio commentary and a lot of stuff is gonna like enlighten for me, which I'm sure it fucking will. And I'm actually looking forward to the special features. Really, really looking forward to like the commentaries and all the shit, because I want to know a little more about this, because like one of the main fucking cops is like in the beginning. What the fuck is his name? Trying to remember the dude, like Spiro or some shit. I can't fucking remember now. But like, how he's like there, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, I got bad news. He was hit by a drunk driver and killed. And then we just never see him again. He's like done. That's it. That guy is fucking. He's out. There had to be something like maybe the guy couldn't make the rest of the shooting. Like he had like another job to do or something, or he just decided not to do more, or they decided they didn't want to. It's something. There's some fucking something about that has to do with just straight up casting in some way, because all of a sudden out of nowhere he's just fucking dead and you don't even see him. That's it. There's no funeral, there's no nothing, dude. He's gone. He's done. And then the new partner, like, it's just, I don't know, that plot hole too, where it's like, what? I mean, yes, people getting killed by drunk drivers is a very tragic and sudden thing. But to see it done like that in a movie, kind of like in that way, is just kind of like, what? Holy shit, dude! I saw him like 2 scenes ago. It's like there's been a gap in time enough to where it's just like, holy shit, dude! I haven't seen that guy for a minute. And now it's like he's done, dude. It's kind of crazy. But like, I'm trying to think like some of the other characters, like his girlfriend, the interactions with his girlfriend are kind of like, I think those could have been fleshed out a little more maybe. I mean, his end was like solid, but it's like her end, her character, I don't know, like it, because like her reaction to finding out she could possibly have AIDS, there wasn't really a reaction. There wasn't really, but it was like, that's what I mean, like when you get into the low budget, sometimes the acting isn't like great, but it's entertaining because I'm watching her and I'm just like, it seems like she's taking it pretty well, to be honest. It's like, I don't know, you're getting pretty aggro, dude, but she seems fairly calm for finding out she might have been infected with AIDS. So, I mean, you could roll with that, dude. But no, actually, he says later on he hasn't had sex with anybody else in 6 months. So it's like, maybe kissing her? I don't know. Maybe he had an open wound in his mouth or something. I don't know. There could have been still the chance or whatever. I don't know. But, yeah, the cops were great. I love the cops. And they were just, the cops were on point. But yeah, man. And it's not like, it's not one of those crazy, it's not a slasher. Okay, so even though it has a total 100% slasher vibe, minus the unknown or superhuman fucking supernatural killer or whatever, or just a straight fucking slasher killer, it's got that vibe without that. Instead, it's got a guy running around jabbing people with a fucking AIDS infected syringe, man. Just pissed off. Like when he gets fired from his job, what I love about that is like it shows an aspect of like, you find out that, like, these days, what would it be that people would find out and they'd be like, oh shit, you know, it's like, I am seriously faced with my own mortality, like brain cancer. We'll say like brain cancer. Let's say someone was like, they go to the doctor and they're like, oh man, those headaches you got, dude, you got like fucking brain cancer, and you're faced with your own mortality, you know? And it's like, what decisions would you make? He makes very bad decisions. It's very deep. Very deep. Very deep. Well, what else can I say about it, man? There's got to be, I figure there's got to be at least one more good point I can make about this. Like, I'll talk a little bit of, I should have mentioned it more. Like, maybe I probably did. I don't know. It's been a little bit of time since I made the first part of this. This is like a whole new me. This is like a whole different me now. But I really love that Visual Vengeance released this shit because, like I said, it could have been lost, and I am greatly enjoying these fucking movies. And LAH Jabber was a great introduction because it fucking knocked me off my feet, and it's really fucking solid. You know, it's like a classic shot on video, low budget, independent, just scraping together whatever they could to make a fucking movie, and like pulled it off and like did really well. And it's like the ending was kind of weird because okay, they finally catch up with this motherfucker. Oh, I was talking about his job. That's right. I'm baked, so bear with me. Like his job, like it affecting him in the way that like it affected his work. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like it was so fucking heavy. Like, let's say you got your 9 to 5 and you're all chill, and you go to the doctor, and like I said, they're like, hey Bob, you have brain cancer. You know, it's like you're not just gonna be able to go to work and be like, well, I guess I just gotta keep trucking along. What can you do? Getting the brain cancer can't slow me down. Yeah, right. It's gonna fucking affect you, man. That's gonna be some heavy shit. For that time it was AIDS, you know? And like how it totally affects his job, and he ends up just getting fired. Now it's like one horrible thing on top of the other. You know, the finding out he has AIDS, breaking up with his girlfriend, losing his fucking job, pushing this guy further over the edge because he's just losing everything. Told you this movie's fucking deep. It doesn't seem like it, especially with a name like LAH Jabber, but I tell you what, deep. This is good. This is good shit. I highly recommend this. You should definitely fucking watch this movie. Sorry, I had a dry mouth, man. I need a little water. I need hydration. But yeah, the ending. So the cops finally catch up to him. You know, they pieced it all together, and they know this Jeff fucker, this lunatic, he's our guy. Let's get him. You know, and they have him cornered, and they got their guns drawn on him, and he's just holding a syringe, and it's almost kind of like, well, shoot him. It's like he has no hostage. Just do something. Like, and then I was thinking, well, he's got AIDS, so, you know, what if they get blood on him? They're afraid of getting AIDS. Maybe they're trying not to make him bleed, and, you know, end the whole thing like as peaceably as possible. Peaceably as possible. Peaceably as possible. Peaceably as possible. Pissing as possible, if you believe. But they do end up shooting him. He lunges at them with the AIDS blood-filled syringe, and they end Jeff's reign of tyranny among LA's streets. They're like, yeah, man. Very good. Very good. Now, should I tell you the twist? Well, see, here's the twist. You find out at the end of the movie that, what? No way, dude. Oh, it makes you go, nice. Very nice. Also, one thing I got to say, if you've seen this movie, this is a lovely movie, or you plan on watching it, check out the guns they're using. The guns they're using are definitely like prop guns, but they, like, I almost feel like they're the Nintendo controllers that you used for Duck Hunt, painted to look like guns. Look at it. I'm fairly fucking certain that somewhere is a basset hound laughing. I would like to believe that. But like, yeah, I think I like yapped about this fucker long enough, but like I said, if you're a fan of low budget, watch it. If you're a fan of just kind of like lesser known, whatever, watch it. If you're a fan of just like good popcorn movies, watch it. I'd say it's a popcorn. It could be a popcorn movie because it's like it's got that low budget feel, like you popped in a fucking VHS and it's like, all right, but like a VHS that you got from a friend who's on the crew. So he got the copy and it's just straight from the camcorder straight into a fucking recorder and then straight in your hand. It's a really good movie. It's better done, more better done than you'd expect, and it's actually really solid. And I'm really glad that my pal got me onto it and introduced me to it and introduced me to Visual Vengeance. Like, really glad because it's given me a chance to watch really like good entertaining movies, and this movie is very entertaining and very solid, and I definitely say give it a shot. If you don't mind non-Hollywood quality, you fucking snob. I'm a little snobby at times too. Sometimes I want to see something that's a little better, but oh yeah, love this shit. So now I'm gonna go watch the special features, and I'll get back to you about them. Maybe a little more insight on some stuff. I like to give a little info on some things that are said in commentaries and this and that, to like give you a little idea of like maybe if you do pick it up, or you have picked it up and you haven't checked them out yet, to be like, oh, and get interested in like find out even more little points about the movie like if you enjoyed the movie, which I did. So I'm, like I said, I'm very excited, and I'm gonna go watch these, and it's like they say, when life gives you lemons, jab it. Yeah. Well, going through the special features on this was pretty fucking cool. The interviews were like really cool with like, some of the original cast there, just they're looking back on it and they were like, yeah, man, it was actually like pretty fun. And it sounds like it was, even though, it's low budget, shot on video, all this other kind of shit, very professional set, very well done, like very, very professional. And I was like, nice, it's like, even though it was like very loose, took a long time to film and all that other kind of shit, like he had like mofo Drew Gadaris had like a vision and he accomplished it, and it was cool, and turned out to be a very solid movie. So it's like the special features are actually really cool. If you watch it, they do give you some really good in-depth shit, especially like how before, when I was talking about how it strays away from being about like the AIDS epidemic as far as it concerns the gay community or even like any kind of sexual thing, and about just the AIDS epidemic and how it was affecting society in general, just I thought it was like pretty cool. So it's like more inclusive, where it's not just like singling anybody out for better or worse. It's just a movie that anybody from any background can watch and be like, oh, okay, and I thought that was pretty cool and very smart, like, very cool. And yeah, very good special features. Gave some good in-depth stuff into certain things, except when I was talking about when that one cop just disappears, they don't really explain why. They just say like, oh yeah, he wasn't able, we had to find a replacement. He wasn't able to continue. It's like, why? It's almost like they didn't want to talk about it, and I'm like, I don't know, I ain't gonna push the subject, man. All right. But yeah, I really enjoyed going through the special features, especially the commentary and everything. One thing they caught was like a boom mic dropping down. I totally forgot about when I was watching again with the commentary how at the end there, when Jeff, lunges at the cops and gets shot and everything, you see the boom operator up to the right, and it's like, oh hey, what's up? You know, like pretty cool though. Just how it all put together, and just like the interviews and the commentary, just giving more insight into like the crew, because on these low budget things like this, it's like some of the crew you just kind of like throw together. It's might be people, but if it's not people, like maybe it's just like even in the Beyond, when I was talking about the Beyond, the black dude at the front desk, he was the guy that they borrowed the truck from, for Joe's plumbing, and they're just like, hey, you want to be in the movie? And they threw him in the movie, and so it's stuff like that, and I think that's pretty cool. So it's almost like something that's been going on in like kind of independent like movies for a very long time. And if you see this movie and you want to like get a little more insight into it, and also just like you get some insight into some stuff. Like I like how they go and they check out the locations between then and now and all that shit. But it's like you get the feel of how these mofos made a movie, and they were like, yeah, we made a movie, and we were proud of it, but we just we didn't think it was going to be anything. And then like they're all like very pleasantly surprised that down the road, there's a fan base out there, and it's getting released, from being on tape all the way to like fucking Blu-ray, and they're pretty stoked, and it's nice. It's kind of like a cool, almost like, I don't know, heartwarming moment. But yeah, so LA AIDS Jabber, everyone. This movie was pretty cool. My introduction to Visual Vengeance, and I've enjoyed their releases, and I'll be doing more of their releases in the future. But yeah, so Wadata, I've signed your pity on the runny kind. I think to the extent it can be signed or pitied. It is what it is. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show that you just never can tell. But till next time, mofos, revealing and rubbing with me your whole time. See you next time. The LA show. I got a job. Municipal